5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock it! All right. Welcome to Boss Mom.
Wine and Chat from Behind the Spectrum. My name's Rochelle Chang.
And I'm Helen Antonio.
And we're two moms with some really great kids that have some stories for you. But what we are here to do is not tell you about the kids' stories. We're here to tell you about our stories.
Right, because we boss moms.
Because we boss moms.
And we're the boss. And we get to decide what we want to talk about with all of you.
And I think it's like a really big ownership of that boss title too, because there's days that go by where I just don't feel like a boss. I just feel like I'm exhausted and burnt out and like a failing employee at all times.
Failing
I'm gonna get my papers on Friday.
No. I doubt it.
But what Helen and I are here to do is to provide moms and single dads or any parent that's dealing with an autism diagnosis. But we wanted to put a little twist on this because the last thing we want to do is make you cry, but you will. The last thing we want to do is upset you, but we probably will because nobody ever agrees with everybody all the time. And I'm sure we're going to have difference of opinions.
100%.
And the last thing we want to do is put you to sleep. And I will tell you that won't happen because we're going to do our best. We both love wine. We both love to chat. And we both feel like boss asses. So like we figured.
We're boss asses.
Yeah.
So, are you feeling like a boss right now?
I'm kind of feeling like a boss right now. And let's full disclosure, we are so new to this. So we're hoping this is our pre kind of trailer first episode podcast. So anything that you have that you want to input, you have any questions or anything you want to hear us talk about, you can email us. You can post on our Instagram. Or anywhere we're going to have this going. So it looks like it's going to be on Spotify. It looks like it's going to be on Apple. So sit back and enjoy the ride. We're just going to give you guys some really funny stories. So I hear you've had quite the day. Do we want to start with that?
You know what? I said to Rochelle before I get here, I said, you know what?
Or do we let them know who we got first and why we're here before you talk about your day so they know exactly kind of.
Well, no, this actually has nothing to do with my kid. This is the
good.
best part, guys.
Okay.
I have to tell this story because I thought it was brilliant. And I'm going to apologize to one specific listener who's going to know exactly who I'm talking about. So the other day, I said, I got to get my car cleaned because, it gets nasty. So twice a year, I don't care. I spoil it. I'll spend that money, honey, and I will get my car detailed. So I called the company. So I posted on the Mom Squad because that's what you do when you have a question. And someone's like, my cousin has a company. And naturally, because it's family, you go, okay.
I'll go.
Okay. I won't go. You come to me. I don't go anywhere anymore. You come to me. So he doesn't, he says he has an emergency, so he can't come. He's going to send his worker. Okay, fine. 7 o'clock rolls around the next morning, and nobody coming. He's like, I don't know, I can't find my worker. He's not replying, blah, blah, blah. I says, okay. And I'm not a very patient person, so I'm like, you lost my business for that day. And then I rewind it, and I'm like, oh, God, it's a family member's family member. You can't do that. So I gave him another chance, and he comes this morning, and guys, and I forgot he was coming. So I go, oh, yeah, it's 7 a.m. Let me look out the window to see if he's here. So let me put this into context. I live in a call it a semi-attached, and my neighbor Paul, he's got a couple of cars and a Winnebago. I look out the side mirror, I said, what in the world? Boy is setting up to clean the Winnebago, getting pumped up and ready to go, and I open my door and says, boy, what are you doing? He's like, I'm like, no.
I live here.
Not even that. Girl.
My car's here.
Black Santa Fe.
No. White
Winnebago. Black Santa Fe. Winnebago. Goes, you gave me the wrong house number. I'm like, and I said the numbers, and I pointed to the numbers. He's like, oh, good thing we didn't get started yet. I'm like, wow. See, I was worried about the future of some of, for my children and friends like them sometimes. But then I'm just worried about the future in general because these are the kids that are going to run our country, and they can't distinguish between the Black Santa Fe and a Winnebago. And I get home, and Paul's like, why did you stop him? You should have let him clean the Winnebago. I'm like, I mean,
And then you wouldn't have had to pay for it.
So, but you know what? I started off my day with that, and it was great because it actually set the tone for my day because it was so funny, and I was just like, my day is going to be fantastic because you're an idiot. That's the truth. Sorry, I will pay my invoice later. You did do a fantastic job, but boy, you need to get some literacy in there.
So this is going to show you a little bit about how this podcast is about to go. And I guess it's so funny because, like, honestly, we wake up in the morning. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm a gong show, like, from the minute I get up. Because I got to get up early to make sure that I can wrap my head around the day before. And I got one and you got two. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should kind of do that, right? So I have 2 kids. One who is 18 and, not on the spectrum. And then I've got Kai, who is on the spectrum, and it's like having 10 kids. I'm not joking. Like, I think I'm patient. I think I'm doing everything right. But this kid can't sit still. Like, it's 7:30 in the morning, and he wants to go walking around the neighborhood. Yeah.
No, I know.
The neighborhood. And I'm like, dude, you haven't eaten, you haven't brushed your teeth, you haven't gotten dressed. He's like, comes downstairs. He's like, okay, I'm done. So he'll, like, brush one tooth, throw on, like, whatever he can find, and, I want to walk around the neighborhood. So mornings are pretty stressful. So having to deal with that in the morning on top of your kids, I probably would have killed the guy or lost my mind on the guy.
I have an hour to adjust because I'm up at 6 every day. And they make sure that it's 6 o'clock, and Madison makes sure to slap every which door because I also have a daughter, Madison. So she's got Kai and Noah, and I've got Austin, who's 11 on the spectrum. I've got Madison, who's 7 with Down syndrome. And God bless her cute little soul. Yeah. But the girl doesn't like open doors. That's her thing. There cannot be an open door. So it doesn't matter if it's 6 a.m. It's bam, 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 bam. I'm like, holy fucking, stop it. It's really hard.
Yeah, she gets up early.
They both do. They're just like, actually, Austin gets up earlier, but he got, like, I drilled that in that boy. If you step 1 foot out of that door before 6 a.m., so now what he does, poor thing, he watches until the clock flips over to 6:00, and then
you're kidding.
I'm not kidding. He comes out, and he will be awake sometimes, but he knows that he comes and makes noise anytime before 6 a.m.
Kai doesn't like the word no. Oh, wow. Most kids don't like the word no, but this kid doesn't like the word no in any way. Like, everything, and then he'll be like, Mommy, I want to get up. And I'll be like, okay, can you just, like, give me half an hour? Mm-hmm. He's great at that. But if he's hungry, it's a hell no. I'm hungry, and I want my food now. And if you don't give me my food, like, all hell's going to break loose.
Is that right?
Yes.
What does it look like when you say when all hell's going to look like? What does that look like? What's his response?
He'll start yelling and start, like, just getting really intense. Like, I'm hungry.
So can I ask something?
I want breakfast right now. Yeah.
Does he not know how to make his own breakfast?
Yes, he knows. No, not 100%. But he can, like, I've showed him how to use the toaster.
Okay.
Right? The problem with Kai is that he's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Spoiled?
Okay. It's honest.
Oh, it's honest. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to blame it on autism.
No.
My mom and I and all of us have always, like, when he was younger, always doing everything for him. Now that we're trying to teach him to be independent, it's, like, coming back to bite me in the ass.
Okay.
So I'm like, make your toast. He's like, well, no, Grandma makes it for me. But yet at school, you make your own lunch every Wednesday.
Right.
At school, you clean up your area. At school, you do this, but he won't do anything for me, right? Tells me he loves me, tells me I'm the best mom in the world. But if I don't say sorry for, like, brushing him by accident or getting what he wants right now, I could be in danger. Okay. And that could be physical danger.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of why, like, I decided I wanted to join this podcast. Not because there's anything wrong with him. He's the most amazing. You've met him.
Oh my God,
he's the sweetest, kindest, most beautiful child. But every single kid on the spectrum is so different in how they handle the surrounding moment, right?
Correct.
I remember when he was first diagnosed, and we went through kind of like the logistics of hell, I call it, right? Because like I'm a mortgage broker, I'm a mortgage agent, I'm an underwriter, I'm not an ABA specialist. At the time, I worked for Manulife, and I was on the road. I was a banking consultant. I loved my job. I rocked at what I did. It was where I was retiring. It was literally my life, other than my kids, because I was able to manage, right?
Sure.
I was able to juggle. And it's not like on Wednesday he wasn't autistic and on Thursday he was autistic. It was on Wednesday afternoon I got the diagnosis. And all of a sudden, Thursday morning, I woke up and didn't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I absolutely know.
Because Wednesday morning, I woke up and I was just fine.
Right.
But Thursday morning, I'm like, what do I do? I got this? No, I don't know. And then days go by and you're like, yeah, I got it. And you're like, no, I don't fucking got this. I don't even know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like at that point is when I just totally became absorbed with the fact that he was autistic and I didn't know what to do.
Right.
Do you know what
I do know.
Do you understand
and I think that carries over through the years. And I think we go through those bumps every year, like, we got this, or daily even. I got it. And then there's moments where you're like, I really, really don't. And then you struggle to figure out how are you going to get it so that the next day is going to be better. And then what the hell is this going to look like down the road for this kid if this is what's happening now, right? It's hard to see past those immediate moments. It
even
really
right
is.
now,
yeah,
you can't.
It's really, really hard to see how will this get better and how are they going to deal with it when we're not here to catch their fall.
I remember a week after he was diagnosed, I think it was like a Wednesday. So I got the weekend. You know, we always say the weekend. Take the weekend.
Right. Because we have those.
Yeah, take the weekend. Everything will be figured out on Monday morning.
Will.
I drove, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this is a good story for a lot of moms because I'm certain I'm not alone. I got in my car. I did my regular routine. I drove through the Starbucks. I was bawling my eyes out. And I remember the lady just like, I pulling up and the lady just looking at me with like this stunned, emotionally caring look and just handed me my coffee and was like, this is on us today. And I just was like, thank you. And I drove off. And that's all I remember from that morning. The next thing I know, I'm in the office of HR in Waterloo. So this is Mississauga to Waterloo. I drove the 401, the 8, and I got to Waterloo, and I don't remember it. And all I like over the years and over time, you do start remembering. And so I have remembered, and I remember getting into that parking lot. It was like my car drove itself to the spot because I guess I'd done it for so long. And I was just frozen solid to the steering wheel, and I thought I was having a heart attack. I was drenched. And I was shaking, and I couldn't catch my breath, and I walked in. It was like Charlie Brown was in there. Everyone was like, good morning, Rochelle. Good morning, Rochelle. How are you? And it was just like, wah, and I went to the washroom, and all of a sudden, like, next thing I know, I'm on an elevator up to HR. I don't know if this part, I still, to this moment, don't know how I got there. I don't know if someone helped me or got me there, or if I just said, screw it, I'm done. Like, I need to go and let them know that, like, I'm sitting at my desk all day, Googling autism, and that's all I'm doing. And I got so lucky because the lady that was in HR, she was retiring in I think she was like 2 weeks, retiring in 2 weeks. She had a friend whose daughter just had a child that was diagnosed with autism. So her heartstrings were in the right place. And they just took such good care of me, but I never looked back. I left Manulife that day just so disappointed because I really loved it there, but I knew I couldn't do it anymore. I knew that I didn't have it all figured out. And that's when I took the 3 years and just kind of said, I got to figure Kai out first. I got to learn how to be an advocate and a voice, and I got to learn what this means, right? Did I ever? No. I think I got it every day.
It's true. It's true. And then, like, I mean, yeah, I do remember feeling like that and having no idea how I got to work on most days myself. But my personality is different the other way. Where some people, what I should have done is actually what you should have done if I could afford to. I don't know if I could have or not back then. Probably not. Is taken the time, because all I did instead was become absent in every other part of my life, including my job. I will admit this for the first time publicly. I lost a few jobs after the diagnosis.
Me too.
Absolutely did.
My accountant was like, this is the most T4s. It was me and my husband.
100%. Well, not my husband, but like
So sad.
it was a few jobs because it didn't matter how hard I tried, and I really take pride in being a really good employee as best as I can. But like, I'm a very distracted individual, so I couldn't get past this. And all I would do at my filing cabinet is file. I don't even know whose name was on these papers. Didn't care. It went in any slot.
Yeah, you weren't seeing straight.
I wasn't seeing straight. And all I would do was sing that song from Coldplay, Fix You. I don't know why. You know, lights will. You know, anyways, I can go on and on. I can sing it. And I don't know. I was singing that song. And I think they must have thought I was nuts. Or somebody must have thought, And while this was all going on, it was just like people were picking on me anyway at work. And I was going to get fired one way or the other. But no, mostly it was a blessing in disguise because I didn't want to be around some of the people that I was working with who were just picking on me for nonsense. So, you know,
and that doesn't help
no.
either. And this is really big, you guys. Yeah. Both Helen and I are in agreement with this. Be kind.
Definitely be kind.
You don't know what the person next to you in the car or in front of you in line or the person that didn't hold the door for you. Sometimes it's not them being a bitch or an asshole. It's maybe they just got a diagnosis of cancer or autism or heart disease or
whatever.
Some sort of tragic news or lost their job or just struggling mentally. You know?
And let's be clear with this. Let me be clear with this off the bat. I can really appreciate when people say, but someone else has it worse than you. You are absolutely right. But I don't live someone else's life.
No.
I live my life.
Oh,
it irks me to death. I get it. There is worse things to worry about. But that's someone else's life. I can only deal with my own. So it may not be like the end of the world to you, but sometimes it sure as heck can feel like the end of the world to me.
And I've been there. And I live with that lots.
Doesn't that drive you crazy?
It drives me nuts. And what drives me nuts is people that say that and people that say, well, have you tried this?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, have you tried that?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, what about this?
Oh, my gosh. So you know what, guys?
And it's so frustrating. I want to look at them and say, okay, first of all, do you have an autistic child? No.
Right.
Okay, you work in the industry. What do? I'm a janitor at a school. Or I'm a teacher.
Oh, I'm a teacher. Okay, let me, full disclosure, I love teachers. We have many in our family.
I love teachers, and they're great.
Right.
But just because you're a teacher doesn't make you a specialist with my kid.
Absolutely not. I don't care if you've done it for 25 years.
Or with that kid. I don't care if you've done it for 100 years, okay? I don't care if your kid is autistic or atypical. No kid is the same.
Exactly. I was going to say, if you can actually open your mouth and say that I've been doing this for so long, I know, then you know nothing, because then you should know that they are all different.
And they don't act the same at school that they do at home.
No. So if you thought you knew, you didn't. But now you know. You don't know as much as you think. But we appreciate you. We do. We love you. We honor you. And the hard work that you do. There
100%. I'm not denying it.
Like, no, there are some really good teachers.
Mr. DeMello and all the teachers that helped.
I'm still feeling my teachers out, so I'm going to big up them when I feel it's due. But
yeah, he's been there for a while. Now, one thing you guys, I think we should let our viewers know. Like, Kai's 12. Austin is 11. So are we new to this? No. Are our kids 21? Hell no. Like, the reason
raisins in the bottle.
So the reason why we're drinking all the time, sorry, and it's not very professional, but tonight we forgot the wine glasses, okay?
All good.
So the reason kind of why I feel this is the perfect time for us to be doing this is because I've lived 12 years with it, right? I've already lived 12 years with this diagnosis. And I'm kind of at the point now where I'm just starting to realize that there's no fix.
No.
There's no correction or whiteout or eraser.
No, but there is
or
adaptation.
Exactly. There is no Band-Aid. There is a reality that we have been given, and that's another one.
No, don't go with the God pick the people.
I got it. If one more fucking person tells me God only gives you what you can handle, I'm just gonna lose it.
This is the face.
Okay, that's the face right there. That's why we need a video.
I'm sorry, familia.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It doesn't. They don't. God has no idea what the fuck I can handle. Because there's days when I don't even know what I can handle. No disrespect to God in any way, obviously. But at the end of the day, nobody knows what you can handle on a day-to-day basis. There's days when I wake up and I feel like I can handle the world. And then when Kai goes to bed, oh my God, best time of the day, by the way. Not that I don't love my child. But I'll tell you, when I get home from work, it's like, okay,
listen, It's all good.
2 hours, right?
Most of the population feels that way. By the way. Don't
Yeah,
feel guilty.
atypical or not.
Okay, no.
But, you know, it's just, it's, I decided that, like, it's a really good time to do this podcast because we want to learn from a lot of you. And we've been listening to a ton of podcasts on moms with kids with autism. I mean, there's some out there where the kids are older. There's some out there where there's a new diagnosis. What we are going to bring to the table is like that point in your life where you're like, okay, I've passed the first leg and I've got 3 more to go before I die.
Yeah.
How am I going to get to the next leg without feeling like I felt in the last leg?
Right.
I wake up wondering that every day. Am I going to feel the same way I felt yesterday? And is this podcast going to stop that? No, but it is going to help me maybe feel a little bit more normal.
True.
I do not feel normal. There's days when I don't even know who I am. I look in the mirror and I'm just lost.
Right. No, I get that. I do, and I do feel that, and how I handle it might be different than the way you handle it, and how people perceive me. They would be like, there's nothing wrong with that girl. She's happy all the time. In fact, she's nuts. But that's how I manage.
Well, she is a little bit.
Well, I am a little bit nuts.
That's why we're friends.
I'm a little bit nuts. I was literally laying in the schoolyard today. I'm not kidding. I was hot. I sat down, and I said to Richard, when I got home, I said, you know what's wrong with this country? And I said to the teachers that walked by, because I was sitting like this, and anybody who's been south knows the answer to this question. What's wrong with Canada? When you're lying in the hot sun with your hands open wide, and nobody's putting a drink in it. Servicio! Nobody came to my aid today.
Out of school.
Yes. Yes, I was parched. I was tired.
Oh, no.
But I didn't get my hair pulled today, so that was a bonus.
Oh, okay. So that, I think, if I can get through a week without getting my hair pulled, I really feel like there's, like, more than one bottle due.
It's not my kid that does it. It's usually the kids that I,
Yeah,
there's the one kid I work
that's
with.
it. And this is new. Like, he's never pulled my hair before. But now it's like, I like your pretty hair, mommy. Now give me my Beanie Boo.
Yeah, Beanie Boos. Oh my, I've never seen a kid to have such a collection. I mean, it's interesting what they're interested in, eh? Because again, with the spectrum, the array, their interests are like all over the map. Like Austin wants to be the TikTok king, and your son wants to collect all the Beanie Boos. It's just interesting, right? And then when I hang out with my people from Project Autism, I am going to big up Project Autism because they are teaching me. And what's beautiful about them is that they've been in Austin's life since he's 3, and I'm watching the adults now. So I'm watching the future, what it can look like when you have a community that cares and that wants to make a future for them. Or to make it possible for them to make a future for themselves, to give them the tools that they need. So big up to Project Autism. We can talk about them.
You guys, I know
day.
that we're rambling today,
It's all
but
good.
I think that the whole point to this first episode is to let you know that there is a bucket load of shit to talk about. And we're not here to bash anybody or to, we'll big up as many people as we can, but at the end of the day, what we're doing here is to let you know how our days are going so that you can feel a little bit more normal.
Yes.
Like, it's okay, you know? I cry 3 days a week. Maybe you don't, but I do. We've got all different things that are going on, and I've also, you know, I'm probably menopausal. That
Maybe. I honestly don't shed a tear.
But for me, it's like, I think that, like, it's a big mental health issue for me right now. Not because I'm not okay. I'm fantastic. I'm great. I've got a great job. I've got a great husband. I've got an outstanding 2 children. Life is good, but I'm just tired, right? I'm the one that he turns to for everything. I am his rock. I'm the one that he gets upset with and that he loves. I'm the one he wants to put to sleep at night. I'm the one, if me and my husband are standing there and he's like, Mommy, I want lunch, and my husband will be like, I'll get you a lunch, and he'll be like, Mommy, can you make it? Right? Or if we're standing there and my husband passes him the Kleenex, he will pass it back to me and say, Mommy, can you pass it to me?
So we'll talk about that another day.
Right.
But definitely, there's a lot that actually...
And that's
goes into that.
Yeah, there's kind of like, so we're just trying to figure all that out, right? And so there's a lot of things that is going on in my world and going on in your world that we are so excited to bring.
I know. And I actually want to give a big shout out to my husband as well, Richard, because in very, very recent times, he has allowed me, and when I say allowed, it's not like on my own person. It's a family decision that I have been able to reduce my assignment at work for different reasons. You know, it's because I had to actually let my kids on the bus because special needs moms have to let their children on the bus. We don't get to take our kids to a bus stop and have them enter a bus. So that's something you might not have known. So, you know, it's altering because you have to either rely on someone to let them on the bus or you got to do it yourself. So we decided that I would take on that responsibility. And with that came a reduction in my assignment, which, yes, of course, means a reduction in paycheck. So thank you, Richard. But the blessing, there was a blessing with that because what happened was all of the things that were making me crazy because life was very overwhelming, appointments, this, that, I didn't stop. And everybody would say it all the time and everybody would point it out all the time, like, you've got to stop. And I didn't until I had to.
And that's what's happening with me right now.
Right? And then now when you pump the brakes, it's a beautiful world that kind of opens up because then you have more time to now appreciate all the things that you were missing.
I think for me, it's not, I don't feel like, it's not even that I'm missing, it's just that I don't have time to give. Like, I worked from home for so many years with Noah, and Noah had me. And now Kai's like, Mommy, are you going to work? I'm like, yeah. He's like, can't you be at home today? And I'm like, no. And he gets upset. And I get it. Like, I get every parent has to work. We got, like, it's not a woe is me. But at the end of the day, I'm exhausted because I work all day and then I go home. And this kid, all kids need attention. But let me tell you, my kid doesn't watch TV. He won't sit and read a book. And he won't sit and have quiet time. He is like Forrest Gump. He could walk the entire pathway of North America and back and still play outside when he gets home.
This is true. I know this about Kai.
You know this about Kai.
Yeah.
Like, my son is outside on Saturday mornings, let's say 8:30, and on a nice day, he could be out there till 8 at night. And I'm not kidding.
And we will go back to the days when they are outside by themselves and what happens. That's a whole episode.
I can't leave. Like, I mean, it takes a village to raise your kids, by the way. So thank freaking Lord for the neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
And if I can leave, this is a whole podcast on its own. You need your neighbors, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got autistic children, you need your neighbors.
You need them if you have any kind of child.
Any kind of child, but especially a child with a disability.
Right.
One like mine.
Yes.
Right? Who is walking around the neighborhood at all times, knocking on doors. He'll be in your backyard.
Right.
He walked into my neighbor's house the other day. Yeah. She turned around. She's like, "Hi, what are you doing in here?" Yeah. He's like, "I want a snack."
Right.
He walked into her house.
I know. And I know that this is not like the first time he's done something like that. We've got lots of stories that are very similar to that.
And we've got to, so there's boundaries, right? So I live on a court, an amazing court to a path. So I've built my village on my street. These people know. And in the beginning, like, I mean, I've been there since he was born, so they know. But at first, when he started walking around, I was all worried that they would think I was a really bad parent. Like, why am I not out there with him for 12 hours?
Right.
And it got to a point, he's going to be 13, and now it's time for him to get a phone. And it's time for an ear tag. It's time for a GPS. It's time to let him go.
I would say you can get him the phone, but make sure, like, I mean, he doesn't lose it or uses it. Austin, answer your mother when she texts you, and not when she catches up to you and you respond. That's like a whole other day. That was the best story ever.
That was the best story ever.
We'll talk about that another day.
But I think everybody's kind of going to get a really good idea as to what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to do this with you, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Helen and I met through our kids. Where were we?
You're asking me. Oh, boy.
At the park.
Probably.
It was at the park.
Probably. I'm going to rely on your memory more than I'm going to rely on mine.
I don't know, but somehow, some way, we came into each other's lives, and now we're here. So we're really excited to bring Boss Moms Wine and Chat to you.
Yes.
Forgive us for this one. It's our very first. We don't want to bore you, but we just wanted to kind of give you an inclination of who we are, why we're here, what you're in for. Oh, yeah, we talk a lot. We swear, we drink. We have a bullshit meter that may come out and it may not, but we will call bullshit on so many things throughout these podcasts. And what I mean by that is just, myths and theories and ideas of the world. Yeah. And we're going to crack those in a very...
we're just going to crack them. We're just going to beat them with a bat. We're just going to beat the shit out of them with a bat. I'm just gonna beat the shit, and then we'll go to the smash room and we'll do the pod from the smash room because this is a thing that Rochelle has taught me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think it's called a smash room or break room.
When she told me about the smash room, I was like, Rochelle, we have husbands.
We're gonna do that one day.
But I was like, Rochelle, no. We have husbands. And smash room translated in my mind to smush room, like the Jersey Shores. And I was like, why is she trying to get me to cheat on Richard Ford in a smash room? And she's like, no, you idiot. You go to this room and you smash things and take out your aggression. I'm like, that's a thing. So this is just a good example of what I live in this bubble. I'm trying to poke holes in my bubble so that I'm not a complete idiot.
You're not an
idiot. I would know these things.
You're not an idiot.
How did I not know about the smash room then?
I don't know. I don't even know it's called a smash room. Break room, smash room.
Whatever it is. Can y'all let me know that I'm not alone and just lie to me? No. Tell me the truth. I want to know how many of y'all knew that there was a break room, smash room, any of that stuff.
It's very good for your frustrations.
Very therapeutic, apparently.
Very therapeutic.
I am going to find out, and I'll let you know. I need some therapy.
Yeah. You guys are my therapy. So thanks for listening, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Cheers.
We are going to be here once a week to answer all your questions and to talk some really funny shit. Yeah. And maybe cry some stuff, too.
Maybe.
But thanks for joining.
Bye.